In Washington, US President Donald Trump has said that India and China are no longer the developing nations and were taken advantages of the tag from the World Trade Organization, and asserted that he will not let it happen anymore. Trump, championing his America First policy, has been a vocal critic of India for levying tremendously high duties on US products and has described the country as a tariff king. The US and China are currently engaged in a bruising trade war after the Trump imposed a punitive tariff on Chinese goods and Beijing retaliated. Earlier in July 2019, Trump asked the WTO to define how it designates developing country status, a move apparently aimed at singling out countries like China, India and Turkey, which are getting lenient treatment under the global trade rules. In a memorandum, Trump has empowered the US trade representatives to start taking punitive actions if any advanced economies are inappropriately taking benefits of WTO loopholes. Addressing a gathering at Pennsylvania and US Tuesday, Trump said India and China, the two economic giants from Asia, are no longer developing nations, and as such they cannot take any benefits from the WTO.
I'd like to, but that's exactly what they were doing. They were taking advantage of us for years and years, and now they understand that if it's not going to be fair, it's not going to be at all. We don't need it. We don't need it. So a lot of good things, and I think we will. I think they will treat us fairly. I mean, the concept should work, but people have taken advantage. Like, for instance, they view certain countries like China, India, many countries for a long time. They viewed them as they're growing, right? They're growing nations. We're a mature nation. They're growing. These are growing nations. Well, they've grown, and they had tremendous advantages, but we're not letting that happen anymore, okay? We're not letting that happen anymore. Everybody's growing but us. You know, they're all growing nations. We have to work with them. But nobody ever wants to work with the United States. It's a disgrace. But it's changing, and it's changing fast. And I think it's the primary reason, probably, that I ran for.
The Geneva-based WTO is an intergovernmental organization that regulates international trade between the nations. Under the global trade rules, developing countries claim entitlement to longer time frame for the imposition of safeguards, generous transition periods, softer tariff cuts, procedural advantages for the WTO disputes, and the ability to avail themselves of certain export subsidies. Trump expressed hope that the WTO will treat the US fairly. He said the WTO views certain countries like India and China as they are growing. Well, they have grown, he said, and warned that US will not let such countries to take advantage of WTO. We are not letting that happen anymore. Everybody is growing but us, said Trump. So what do you think of US President Donald Trump says that India and China are no longer the developing countries and they are looting loopholes of WTO, and warning that India and China are no longer the developing nations?